Hey everyone, Dan and Leslie back for another Disney dining review.
Today we are actually headed someplace that we have never been before, which is Boatwrights over at Port Orleans Riverside Resort.
Son of a gun, let's have some fun on the Bayou.
I really hope he sings that in the restaurant.
This thing has always looked good to me. It's just out of the way. Like, it's not easy to get to.
Well, we've only stayed at Port Orleans Riverside one time for one night. And
I mean, we've stayed at Port Orleans several times, but we've never walked over from there.
Right, we've stayed at French Quarter, yeah.
Well, that's what I meant. Yeah, French Quarter.
She's being very needy.
Boatwrights is like a Bayou-themed restaurant. We've never been, so I can't give you a whole lot more than that, but they've got like shrimp and grits. They've got a crawfish boil, or maybe a seafood boil.
Country seafood
boil. That sounds pretty good, actually. Yeah. But they got fritters.
Yeah,
what else they got?
The fritters. I'm eyeing those fritters. Several things look fantastic on this menu. I'm very much looking forward to it. Like both appetizers, sides. They've got fried okra. You know, surely they do fried okra well, right?
I did look at the specialty cocktails, and an old fashioned is not on there. They have a couple of different things, so I don't know.
We'll see.
They do have a bananas Foster bread pudding.
There is lots of really yummy looking options here. There is even
a red beans and rice.
Yeah, there's a harvest red beans and rice plant-based option. So it has plant-based sausage, peppers, onions, and celery served over rice with cornbread. But
all right, well, there is only one way to find out if this restaurant is as good as it sounds like on the menu, and we're almost late. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's go to the Bayou.
Okay, we have made it to Boatwrights. It's actually not too bad of a drive from where we live.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
I love how spread out all of the tables are here, so you don't feel like you're right up next to each other.
Yeah, and the theming in here is really cute. Like right straight down the middle of the restaurant, there's this adorable, adorable, it's huge, but it's like they're building a boat, right? Makes sense, Boatwrights. And then all along the walls are like what I assume are tools to build boats. I've never
even
built
look at the
a
tools.
boat, so
You think those are boat building tools?
I do. I think that they're boat building tools.
Would like to see you try to build a boat. They do have a full drink menu, but it's the same drinks you can get anywhere on property on all of the standard restaurants. They do have 3 specialty cocktails though. They have a whiskey sour, which this one got. They have a hurricane, which you said was their most popular, but can't do it because the Sazerac is very similar to an old fashioned. It's got a specialty Peychaud bitters, which you apparently have to have to make it a Sazerac. I don't know, but it's also rye instead of bourbon.
Appetizer, we got the Mardi Gras fritters, which are house-made pimento cheese fritters with pepper jelly. They already brought us some cornbread with a cute little dollop of Mickey.
Actually, look at that, that's a good sized cornbread.
That's nice. But the butter is in the shape of a Mickey, which is adorable.
My cornbread just crumbled. Oh yeah, that is good. Okay, drinks are here.
Drinks are here. Before we get to that though, this cornbread is super moist, and it has so much sweetness to it, and then the honey butter on top.
It's really good.
It's a really fantastically baked cornbread. So I'm hoping it means good things are to come.
Okay, so the Sazerac is different. There's not a bunch of ice. There's no ice. So I don't.
It looks like it's cold though.
I don't know. It's in a cold glass, and it does appear chilled. Oh wow. Okay, so I've obviously never had a Sazerac. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just gonna see if it's good. It tastes like licorice.
Really?
Is that the thing? Are the bitters licorice?
Right, so I got the whiskey sour, and I like how it has like a little different colors, but I feel like I need to stir this up before I actually try it. It's definitely sour. It's it has no sweetness to it.
It's a sour.
Dan doesn't like it.
I like this better than the standard
I can't figure out what that flavor
drink
is.
menu that you can get at any resort restaurants. But it's still like I'm not the hugest of licorice fans, and that's all I'm getting is licorice off this thing. So I don't know.
The Mardi Gras fritters have arrived. They smell incredible.
They smell good.
So,
Oh my.
ooh,
Mine just exploded.
they squirt.
Squirt. It said pimento cheese. That must be like a pimento jelly on top, I guess? Because it's just cheese inside. Yeah, so like very cheesy. That's a lot of cheese.
Yeah, it's not what I was expecting.
That was a lot of cheese.
The pepper jelly on top is really good. So it cuts like the just cheese flavor. However,
It's too much
like,
cheese.
usually, like whenever it says a house-made pimento cheese filled, like I expected the inside, the cheese part to be pimento cheese, not which that's.
It's really just a
it's like
fried
cheddar.
puck of cheese, like
Yeah,
a fried,
it's like
deep
cheddar.
fried cheddar cheese puck.
Okay, so our dinner has arrived. I got the blackened salmon. It is on a bed of rice with green beans. It looks tasty, so we'll see.
That's good.
Yeah. So the salmon is well cooked. It's not dry at all. Like it's cooked evenly throughout the entire piece. That pickled onion or cabbage or whatever it is that's on top is fantastic with it. I'm very pleased.
Yeah. So the jambalaya is here. That's really good.
That is very good.
Super flavorful. It's actually not a ton of rice in there. Oh, it's got some kick to it.
It does have some kick.
It's got like andouille sausage in the jambalaya, but then it has a couple of large sausages on top. It's got chicken in the jambalaya.
And a whole like skewer of shrimp.
Try one of those. The shrimp is not my favorite, but the rest of the dish is good.
Yeah.
And just the jambalaya with the rice and the sauce and all of that, that's actually really flavorful.
Yeah,
It's got a
very
nice kick to it. Okay, so I did just fish out a chicken bone.
Ooh, that's a pretty big one.
I feel like that's not good. Okay, so we are taking leftovers home to the boys so that we can try the dessert, which we've been eyeballing ever since we left, and it's the Bananas Foster Bread Pudding.
It actually looks really good.
It's good.
It looks good.
Dig it. I like it.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna devour this, and we'll wrap this up at home. That's what she said.
All right, we are back.
If you are looking to plan your next magical vacation,
She just jumps right on in there.
please reach out to us over at fantasticalvacations.com. We plan Disney destinations, Universal, cruise lines, and all-inclusive resorts, and we would love to help you out.
This one, like we've had a lot of people want us to review this one, and I can see how it could be a fan favorite. I
Yes.
can also see how it could be something that's probably not memorable at all, and we've got all those feelings. So you just
Yeah.
want to dive in then?
Sure. So ambiance and theming. I mentioned there was that nice boat, like right whenever like building a boat, and there's boat equipment on the walls or whatnot. I assume that's what that's for. And
A boat builder over here.
and I always love it. I'm so weird, but I love it whenever there's like that exposed brick in the walls and such. Like, I just think that that's kind of a nice touch. Overall, the ambiance and theming was I felt nice. Like, it was not anything above and beyond or anything that would be super memorable, but there are so many hard surfaces that you would expect it to be a little bit loud because it is open to the whole rest of the hotel too. I mean, it's not closed in. And so I was surprised that it wasn't loud, but they also didn't like jam pack people on top of each other, which was lovely.
I did like how the tables were not so close together that you couldn't hear each other. Like, that was nice.
I couldn't be like, hey, can I try a bite of that?
I mean, a lot of these restaurants do that. Like, it's not very pleasant.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was nice. But like that being said, like there wasn't anything special about it. No characters, nothing great to look at other than the boat hanging from the ceiling. It's a lobby restaurant. Like you can walk into the main lobby, go through the River Roost Lounge, and you're in the restaurant. So it's not. But you walk right outside, and it's just lovely out there. It's like a really nice kind of stroll around the resort. So a little bit above average, but nothing too crazy special. We gave it a 3.5.
Yep. All right, service. So I'll be completely upfront and honest here.
He almost dropped.
He was Johnny on the spot whenever we first got there, gave recommendations, was very pleasant. He was very pleasant the entire time. I don't know what happened at the end that I think he got overwhelmed, and I don't know if he got like double sat, or if I don't know exactly what happened, but it was taking a very long time to get anything towards the end. Anyway, all
super
that to
nice,
say,
though.
yeah, super nice.
He did fill up waters before they got below half full. Like he was on it for the first 2/3 of the meal for sure.
And he checked on us frequently, and
then part of the service, like they were very prompt with bringing out food. Like
So
we did
prompt.
we did a 3-course meal in 45 minutes. Like it was, and that was with waiting on him at the very end to bring us the check. So the food was out like fast.
Yeah. So anyway, all that to say, we gave service a 3.5 because we felt like it was above average, not anything like over and above, but it was definitely nice.
All right, drinks. Let's just do this thing, because honestly, man, I'm not thrilled with the drinks. Yours was gross.
Yeah, I didn't say it. Sometimes whenever I first take a drink and it's so different, I think, well, I need to give it a minute to maybe it's something like, maybe I just wasn't expecting it. I tried multiple times and I left 3/4 of that on the table. Like I didn't drink it because it was
I could only try it the once.
It was just hard to swallow.
But like it tasted like half the drink was just straight lemon juice, just poured out of. It was.
And I get
not good.
It was a whiskey sour.
I didn't get any whiskey
but
at all.
I didn't. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like I don't know. Anyway, I was very disappointed in my drink. So my drink was way low.
Yours was way below average. Mine was average or slightly above. Like it's definitely not going on the top old fashioned list. I consider this a take on an old fashioned as a Sazerac. I don't know who thought it would. Like apparently Peychaud's is an anise bitters, which that's where the licorice is coming from.
But some people like licorice. So
it's not for me, and if you love it, by all means, go enjoy your Sazerac drink here. It's just not for me. It wasn't bad. It was weird that it didn't have any kind of garnish or ice. It looked just like straight liquor. It was a little bit of simple syrup, Peychaud, I guess that's how you say that, the bitters, and a rye. Anyway, it wasn't horrible, just not for me. Like I said, a little bit above average. Yours brought mine down, I think, overall. Yeah. Overall, we gave drinks a 2.5. And it wasn't like there was a ton more drinks to choose from and we just chose the worst ones. There were 3 specialty cocktails here. Everything else was just the basic, like what you can get at every resort restaurant across property.
Yeah.
And we're not rating on those. Like those, we've done those. They're average at best. These were their specialty drinks, special to this restaurant.
Yeah.
And we chose 2 of the 3. And neither one really impressed us.
Finally, food. Now, this is where this place shined, I would say. The cornbread that first comes out was fantastic. It was
free cornbread, by the way.
Free.
Yes. Like there's no $18 charge for the cornbread. We didn't have to ask for it. He just willingly brought this cornbread. It was amazing.
Lovely. It was wonderful. So the fritters that we got. I really feel like maybe they ran out of pimento and just didn't want to tell somebody. I don't know, because they were advertised as house-made pimento cheese fritters. That was not pimento cheese inside those fritters, I will tell you.
It was a puck of cheddar, breaded and deep fried. It was literally...
Yeah.
And I cut into it, and the squirt that I said, that was grease squirting out of it. It was not good. I don't know what they were doing there. Yeah, you didn't finish yours. There was 3 of them. We brought 1.5 home to the kids. I choked my full puck down only because I was starving.
I did not.
That was the one negative part of the meal, though. The rest of it was great.
It was really good. So I had the blackened salmon. It was so well cooked. Like it just, it is very easy to screw up salmon. And a lot of restaurants do. They just overcook it, and then it gets so dry and chalky. And it was perfection.
Especially for as quick as it came out. Like I feel like it I don't know if they pre-prepare these things and they've got them under a heat lamp or not, but it came out fast.
It did. It didn't taste like it was under a heat lamp.
It didn't. And then mine was like the jambalaya itself was very, very flavorful, minus the chicken bone that they should have caught, but whatever. And then the shrimp was a little bit dry for me, but the flavors were pretty good. The flavors of the shrimp was pretty good, but the flavor of the rest of it was great. Like the chicken in the jambalaya, again, minus the bone, was fantastic. I would say both entrees were above average.
Yep. And my green beans, people don't always do green beans right either. And you go to a restaurant and they're like chewy, and like you can actually hear the squeak like whenever you're like chewing on them. Not these. I thought that was how they were gonna be, and I put one in my mouth and I was so pleasantly surprised. It was like just soft enough, but still just dense enough that it was like perfection.
Finally, the Bananas Foster bread pudding.
That was good.
It was good. It wasn't the best dessert I've ever had, but it was solid. It was above
tasty.
average for sure.
It definitely was.
All that to say, we docked him a little bit for the chicken bone and the jambalaya and those cheddar puck things that were supposed to be pimento cheese fritters, because they weren't. We docked him a little bit for that. We still gave him a 4. It was a solid outing for food. The food was actually really tasty.
I really think that everybody who has reached out and asked us to review this place, or the people that, die hard go back again and again to this place, I get it. Like, this is not a place, though, that I would go out of my way to go to. It would only probably be if I happen to be staying at Riverside. It would be a really good option.
Or maybe French Quarter, maybe.
Yes. Yeah. So all of that adds together to something, I can't remember, 13.5, which divides out to be a 3.375, which I think is probably a fair rating for this restaurant. I could argue maybe a couple of those spots even go down a little bit to where it's somewhere between a 3.25 and a 3.375. But I mean, that's like splitting hairs, I think. I really think it's somewhere right around there.
I think it's between a 3 and a 4 for sure. I think you probably go back tomorrow, you have a different waiter, you have a different experience. Maybe the bartender knows what they're doing and they make a whiskey sour, and maybe it's an actual, drinkable drink. So maybe it comes up to a 3.75 or even close to a 4. But for us tonight, 3.375, I think that's spot on. That's totally fair. The food was great though. Like if you go here, go for the food, don't go for the drinks, don't go for a crazy great ambiance. It's the food. The food's good.
Yeah. So absolutely. If you are liking these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.
And we will see you on the next video.